Water makes a great home for millions of plants, animals, and other living things on Earth. Water habitats might be filled with salt water or fresh water. They might be flowing rivers or ponds full of plants. Whatever they are, these water habitats meet the needs of the plants and animals that live in there. Let's take a look at the ocean. Oceans cover most of Earth. The ocean is a saltwater habitat. There are more than 1 million kinds of plants and animals that live in the ocean. Scientists believe that there are millions more that have not been discovered yet. The ocean is home to many types of plants and seaweeds. Kelp is a type of seaweed. Big areas of kelp are like underwater forests. Kelp provides food and shelter to fish, shellfish, and even mammals like seals and sea otters. Did you know that kelp can grow up to 60 centimeters or 2 feet in one day? A plant called seagrass grows in shallow parts of the ocean where it can get the sunlight it needs to grow. Most plants would die in salt water, but seagrass grows well in this habitat. Like kelp, seagrass provides food and shelter to many animals. There is a huge variety of animals that live in ocean habitats. The largest mammal on Earth lives in the ocean, the blue whale. Some blue whales are longer than 2 school buses. These giant animals eat tiny shellfish called krill. One blue whale eats millions of krill each year. There are nearly 20,000 different species of fish in the ocean. There are fish of all different shapes, sizes, and colors. Anglerfish live deep in the ocean a mile below the surface. Anglerfish have sharp, clear teeth. Female anglerfish have part of their spine extended over their head. The tip glows to attract prey such as shrimp and small fish. The ocean is also home to animals such as jellyfish, octopuses, sea turtles, and even sea snakes like this banded sea crate. Sea snakes breathe air, but some can hold their breath for 2 hours. Coral reefs are like underwater cities. They are home to thousands of living things. The coral itself is a living thing. It's a collection of tiny animals called coral polyps. Each polyp is about as big as the head of a pin. Other animals can find food in the reef. They can find places to hide so they don't become food. Look at all of the colorful fish and coral. Now, let's take a look at freshwater habitats. Rivers are bodies of fresh water that flow. Rivers are home to a large variety of plants and animals. Let's take a look at some. Plants that live in rivers like green river grass and spike rush are an important part of river habitats. They provide food and shelter to the animals that live there. Many trees grow along the sides of rivers. Their roots grow down into the river and provide shelter for many animals. Tree roots also help keep the soil on the edges of the river in place. Even though Earth's oceans cover much more area than bodies of fresh water, freshwater habitats like rivers and ponds have more kinds of fish. Fish like catfish, trout, and minnows live in rivers. Did you know that most salmon are born in rivers and then travel to the ocean to live? They are one of the few species that can live in saltwater and freshwater. Salmon swim against the flow of the river to return to where they were born to lay eggs. Dolphins may look like fish, but they are mammals that live in the water. Most dolphins live in the ocean. Did you know that some dolphins live in rivers? Pink river dolphins are actually pink or gray and pink. Animals like crocodiles, turtles, and snakes also live in and around rivers. Crocodiles live near rivers and other bodies of water. Water keeps their bodies cool and helps them hide from larger animals like leopards that could eat them. They can swim under the surface with just their eyes and nose showing. Water also provides crocodiles' main source of food, fish. River turtles usually eat grasses and leaves. There are some kinds of river turtles that eat fish and other small animals. Water snakes also live in rivers. They mostly eat small fish, frogs, and salamanders. Water snakes hide in the rocks and plants that surround rivers. Rivers are also home to mammals like river otters and beavers. Did you know that beavers eat trees? They like to eat the green inner layer of wood and will use whatever is left to build their dams. Beavers build dams, canals, and make homes for themselves in rivers. The river habitat provides all of the things that these animals need to live and grow. Ponds are another type of freshwater habitat. A pond is a small body of fresh water that does not flow. Pond plants are important to pond habitats. Plants like water lilies and cattails live in and around ponds. These plants need a lot of water. They depend on the pond to get the water they need. Water lilies are helpful to pond habitats. They actually help clean the water. Water lilies also give small animals like frogs a place to hide from predators. You can find a large variety of animals living in ponds. There are many types of fish like bluegill, carp, and bass in ponds. These fish feed on bugs, algae, and plants. Crayfish like to hide under rocks or logs. They eat snails, worms, tadpoles, and plants. Salamanders also live near ponds. They look like a mix between a frog and a lizard. The young look similar to fish and live in the water like fish. Grown salamanders live on land, but go back to the water to lay eggs. Did you know that some species of salamanders can lose their tail during an attack and then grow a new one? Frogs also lay their eggs in bodies of fresh water like ponds. The eggs develop in water. Then the young frogs called tadpoles live in water until they lose their tails and grow legs. Then the frogs live mostly on the land that surrounds the pond. Toads lay their eggs in ponds too. Many birds like ducks and herons live in and near ponds. They eat fish, other small animals, and plants. Look at this duck with her ducklings. Pond habitats are able to meet the needs of the plants and animals that live there. There is plenty of sunlight, food, water, and shelter. Earth's water habitats are filled with plants and animals. Can you think of any other type of water habitat? What kinds of plants and animals do you think live there?